Hey everybody, this is Hadrian. Thank you for watching. Let's play some more Total War Attila in our Eternal Empire series. We have finally made a move on the Sassinid Empire. We've been paying them money since the very beginning of the series, and we just marched in and took not only several Sassinid cities, but also an Armenian city, which is one of their satrapies. And in the very next turn, we should be able to march up on Duin and take this as well. Also looks like Gabala is in control of one of their satrapy states. So we have a lot to do in the coming turns to make sure that we take as much territory from them as possible so that any armies they have are not as supported income-wise. So let's go ahead and end the turn. It will be very interesting to see how the Sassanids respond now, because they are the second strongest empire in the game. They do have strong armies. I just don't think they're in the area. So there's going to be some fighting. It's not going to be this easy. They have armies on the way, and I've kind of gone in blind. I noticed that I had an opportunity to attack 4 cities at once, and I just took it. Okay, good. Those Tanukids are done raiding in our territory, which is great. Sassanid Empire, we're officially at war with them. All right, they just moved an army out of Tessafon, which is interesting. So we're going to march on Tessafon this very next turn. We have an army in place to do it, and that will really start to turn things in our favor quickly. Oh, interesting. The Armenians have a stack near our territory. Crap, that could go badly. All right, that's a diplomat approaching Tosp. So hopefully the Armenians pull their stack back to try and defend the territory that's being lost, rather than being on the offensive against us. All right. Let me do the smart thing here. I'm going to move this army back to Constantinople. This guy has leveled up, so we're just going to give him additional abilities, like we've been doing. Now, this army is in the midst of being improved, so I don't want to have... If Constantinople were to be attacked right now, I want to have swordsmen in place. No. That's the wrong recruitment option. Okay. So we need to do better archers. Okay, that's what I thought. So I can go ahead and replace one of the horsemen as well. Oh, I can replace 2 of them. That's right. Forgot about that completely. I have additional military recruitment. Oh, wow. Fantastic. All right. On account of some of the... I'm actually, like, why is that happening? Is it the extra... Oh, yeah, that's what it is. It's this guy. Call to arms. Increases recruitment capacity in Constantinople. That's why he's here. So that's useful. We're going to go ahead and upgrade the quarry in Marcianopolis. That's actually all of our money, too. Alright, now, this province here has lost its capital. Arabia Magna, we need to move down there and actually rebuild Arabia Magna's capital. Alright, we are in marching range of Tessafon, and we're going to take it. Alright, we're going to continue the siege for a bit. Now, what else can we do here? Arbella, Meshan. Okay. So this city here is in Azoristan, which is the same province as Tessafon and Meshan. Meshan is down here at the very beginning of the Fertile Crescent. This is the Tigris and the Euphrates River right here. This is where, you know, so much of biblical history began. We're going to go up here, though, and see what we can do with this army in Nisibis. Because public order is actually pretty good in this province. Again, we've controlled most of this province for a while. So we could actually move on Gonzaga without too much worry. That's what I'm going to do. We're just going to auto-resolve it. Occupy. This is a new province for us. We don't have any territory in Gonzaga. And it looks like the other territory in Gonzaga is desolate. Now this army as well needs to move. Yep. We can move on the capital of the Armenians, which we're going to do. That's ours. We're actually going to fight the battle for the capital of the Sassanids. But for now, I just wanted to make sure that that was taken. So we just made huge territorial advances in the span of just a turn or two. It's pretty cool. I really wish I could get this army down to repair that. That's the actual capital territory of Arabia Magna right there. But we're just not in a good position to be able to do that just yet. Speaking of things we need to be in a good position to do, we are sieging Dimity. Let's take another look. Okay, so in one more turn, this army will start to suffer a lot. So we're going to keep this settlement encircled, and Dimity should fall pretty soon. Cidamus, I am going to go ahead and turn on taxes because we need some additional income. We have a huge food shortage in Cidamus, not in Cidamus, but in Sahara. But since we're about to capture the final city in this province within the next couple of turns, we should be able to turn that around pretty quickly. I would rather have the income from that province reduced as it is on account of the fact that we don't own all of the territory, and on account of the low public order. I would rather have access to all of that. All right, is it time to march on Tessafon? I think it's time to march on Tessafon. Let's do this. All right, so we're going to fight this battle on the battlefield. That was quick. It really was. Like, we have just stormed in and really taken a lot of territory from the Sassanids quickly. They will no doubt hit back and hit back hard. But the objective of this entire campaign was to move in and take a lot of their income sources from them as rapidly as possible so that their armies, when we defeat them in battle, assuming we're able to fight some of their armies one-on-one and they don't bring in multiple stacks to one location, which could happen, they aren't able to replenish their armies. So it's a very rapid economic and military defeat for the Sassanids by going this route. It's risky, but it's also awesome. All right, so we've got sandstorm weather. Oh, wow. Okay, we're going to be fighting in a sandstorm. We don't have a choice. Interesting. So this is a pretty built-up city. They've got some huge towers. We need to make sure we knock those down before we come in. Ideally, though, we just need to knock down some walls, which is what we're going to do. Let's see how the visibility is. All right, that's the visibility on our archers. The visibility on our artillery is still pretty good. We're going to be able to attack. So because we have a sandstorm, what is the effect of that? It's not saying. Okay. We'll make do. I mentioned earlier in the series that I've never actually fought in a sandstorm. I've never seen a sandstorm. Just pure luck. I guess when I've played solo campaigns, I've auto-resolved a lot of battles in desert cities to the point that I've never seen a sandstorm actually take place. So it's pretty cool to me. All right, so we're going to have these units with flaming ammunition, and we're going to break down basically that section of wall. And then from behind, and we want to have all of our cavalry in one unit. We're going to keep our army concentrated because this is a major city. I'm not gonna underestimate the Sassanids' capacity to defend their city. All right, are my unit perfectly? All right, good. My onagers are in order, so we're going to fire on that wall, on that one, on that one. Actually, wait. I want to break things down a little bit closer. All right, so we're going to break down that section of wall with our artillery. It's going to take a second. Good. Did plenty of damage to him in the first couple of salvos. With any luck, we can knock down the walls before too much happens. And by too much happening, I mean, I don't know what I was saying there. We can knock down the walls. Oh, wow, they have artillery too. Should have known. All right, that's going to be annoying. But I'm going to keep them. Right now, my artillery have to fire on these walls. We have to get through the walls if the siege is shot. So I'm going to let their artillery fire on me for now. Of course they have defensive artillery. And it's very accurate in managing to kill some of my artillery. What I was saying, though, is hopefully we'll still have some ammunition left over from the artillery so we can fire on these guys as well. Alright, we should see the walls start to crumble. Yep. Oh, wow, some of the walls have already come down. Alright, we're going to try and knock down all that wall. Looks like one of our onagers is already shot. That's fine, though. And they might be out of range. Yeah, they are. I think they're out of range. Oh, no, they're not. Now they're firing on my men, but they missed. Alright, so we've knocked down a substantial portion of their walls now. Let's knock down this section here. Meantime, we want to actually have these units marching forward towards the city. So we're going to destroy those walls right now, and any units on top of them.
The enemy's walls are down.
I'm going to try and destroy those towers as well. This Roman army is marching. Ah, that didn't actually kill anybody. Let's see how these do against the towers. Not very well. We are trying to knock down those towers, though. Because we all know how much towers annoy me. If you've watched my series for a while, you know. We actually have a mod going in this series right now that prevents towers from doing the ridiculous amounts of damage they do in vanilla Attila. They still do damage, but they don't mow your troops down the way they do in vanilla. Alright, maybe we can do some damage to the towers with this salvo. Nope. Mostly missed. This tower's almost down. That's good news. Ah, it's about to come down, actually. Now, one more hit, it'll be down. Meanwhile, our units are approaching the walls. The battle is already in our favor. Also, the city is burning, so that fire may spread. I'm actually kind of hoping it does spread. Actually, as soon as this tower comes down, what I might do... Alright, good. That tower's down. Let's bring that tower down. And actually, with one of my units, I'm going to have them fire inside the town, inside the city, and just kind of spread fire. Because if we can start a fire in Tessafon that spreads while the battle's going, that could affect the enemy's morale. Perfect. That didn't actually start a fire, though. So maybe not perfect. Need that tower to come down as soon as possible. It's at 84% life. Meanwhile, our forces are about to cross. They're actually not going to cross the wall.
Our units can no longer fire.
Interesting. Alright, so those buildings are not lighting on fire. I'm just going to make sure that this tower comes down. Only needs one more hit. There it is. Perfect.
We have destroyed the enemy tower.
Alright, I'm just going to have my artillery chill out now. And these units are about to arrive, so they're going to be able to do some damage. Mainly from the archers being behind. The archers will be able to fire on all these units. Could be about to see a land battle here, if these guys charge over. Our archers are firing. They can't decide if they should put their shields up or not. Alright, let's go ahead and march the spearmen across. And then we're going to charge these infantry in to help out with this battle. Give them more specific targets. Meanwhile, we will fire on these units with our archers. The ones that are up on the walls, so that we're not firing on our men here. Awesome. These units are already starting to waver. They're not liking this Roman onslaught. We can barely see Tessafon right now, but as you can see, it's quite a magnificent city. Take a look around while that battle's happening. It's a big city, too. We just broke down one of the wall sections, and we're making fools of them. Alright, pretty soon I need to go ahead and bring my general in. But first, I think what I'm going to do, we need to finish off... Alright, good, they're running. I'm going to order all of my units to kind of take up a position there. This unit looks like it wants some, so we'll go ahead and engage them in battle with a couple of our units to make sure they don't get an advantage. Right now my spear unit is losing, but they're about to get back up. And in a moment we can bring our general in to start running around, seeing what else we can do. Actually, we're going to do that now. We're going to bring our general right there. Let's take a closer look, shall we?
We have captured the gates.
Awesome.
Now is the hour. Try assault.
Capturing the gates wasn't even deliberate. That's just something that happened as a result of my units moving in here.
At your service.
See if we can chase down some of these other units here. So we completely own this area, but those towers don't exist anymore, so it's not necessarily a big win. I'm just sending all of my men after these remaining armies. Oh. They have a horseman unit that came out to meet us, so let's make sure we take care of them. We can use War Cry to reduce their morale. They're losing decisively. The fire didn't actually spread. I would guess because these buildings are not very flammable. They're not made out of things that really burn. Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward attack on Tessafon. Went pretty well. Alright, some of the units that these guys were ordered to chase have disappeared. So instead what I'm going to do is take this tower. We're going to do the same here. Rather than have them continue to chase, we need to capture as many capture points here as we can. What are you doing? No, 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 no. Come back here. General started chasing in that direction, which puts him in range of those towers. Alright, we need to go ahead and finish off their general up here, which we can probably do with our cavalry. That would probably give us the battle if we did that. Alright, so we have captured these walls. I'm going to have them come up here and finish off those onagers. It's not really going to make a difference to the battle, but it's kind of satisfying. Alright, and we are going to have our cavalry charge in and pay a visit to the general here. If they don't get confused because they lose sight of him, which is what just happened. I've complained about this in previous Attila series, in the Crown of Charlemagne series. When you are controlling cavalry in Total War Attila, you and you give them orders, and they're charging, or any unit really, but especially cavalry because they move so quickly and you expect them to be so heavy hitting. And they lose sight of the enemy that they're charging. What happens unavoidably is you get they just kind of stop. They stop completely and they don't charge in, and they give up on whatever you told them to do, which completely ruins. We're gonna use War Cry on him. He's losing decisively, which is good. It just completely ruins whatever your battle objective might be. Alright, we're going to kill enemy generals dead. So we should... the battle should turn in our favor pretty quickly now. We're capturing a lot of central parts of town. Enemy's tower's been destroyed. We're actually going to take these two cavalry, capture those towers while our general and some backup cavalry come take the center of town. Oh, hey! More units. Didn't expect to see you guys here. Interesting. Alright, well in that case, you guys all come over here. We need to knock down those towers. These are spearmen units too, so they could actually give our cavalry some trouble. Let's get our units to the middle of town as quickly as possible.
The tower has been destroyed. This bodes well.
Good. We're going to bring these units down and away from those spearmen, because I don't want to risk them getting hurt. So they do have a defensive force that's left here. They've got 4 spearmen units that ran away. And they also have this archery unit. You guys are really taking the long way, aren't you? Some of my units are going all the way this way. They could have just come this way. Would have been a lot easier. Alright, so these spearmen are lining up. Let's speed up time a bit. Charge these guys in to fight these spearmen. Battle should go pretty well. Yep. Alright, they are bringing their other units in to help with this battle because these guys are losing. They're losing decisively now. Here comes some additional help. We're going to see if we can finish off, since these guys have their back turned to us. We're going to see if we... oh, wait, they turned around. Of course they did. Come on, guys. You're supposed to charge. I guess since there were some of my other units in the area, the cavalry couldn't get moving. We're trying to surprise them from the back, but we couldn't. That's fine. Looks like these guys are starting to chicken out. Should give the battle to us any second now. Yep, there it is. We have control of Tessafon. We only lost 111 men. They lost 859. Well, they lost everyone because the rest of their garrison's about to die. That's huge. We've just made in the span of this past episode and the one right before it, we've made a tremendous jump into Sassinid territory.
Ready for orders.
Tessafon is now a Roman city. We don't have money to repair it, unfortunately, but our income is back up above 10,000 on account of just having all this new territory. So that's cool. All right, let's go ahead and end the turn. See what happens. And then as this new turn begins, I'll go ahead and cut this episode. And it should give us a pretty nice setup, because I think whatever armies the Sassanids do have in the area, they should come back and, you know, start trying to push back against us, trying to take back some of the territory they just lost. I don't expect the Sassanids just to roll over. Surely they have a military somewhere. We haven't seen it yet, but we saw like one mini stack. Okay, here's the Sassanid military. Here they come. They've got Tessafon surrounded, but they didn't move on it, which is perfect, because that will give me an opportunity to actually make strategic decisions about how I fight that battle. They do have Tessafon under siege. Beautiful. That'll allow me to bring reinforcement units in and fight a pretty climactic battle against those armies. Right, so yeah, it looks like the Armenians are bringing armies back to help defend their territory. Most of their territory is going to be gone, if not all their territory, by the time I'm done. Probably going to leave that army there in Duin, because that's one of the best positions possible to defend the cities I've just taken. We do need to take Gabala and Petakaran here, though. Alright, Gaul has been destroyed. Tessafon is under siege, I know. Rebellion imminent in Armenia, I know. Alright, so this general has leveled up here. We'll give him some additional skills. We also need to see what kind of... Awesome! We can promote Maximinus Calvinus to be the Master of Offices. Looks like Flavius Caesarius needs to be a Master of Soldiers. We should have several promotions. Just one. Okay. Publius Plautus, our son, is 12. Alright, we can't repair Tessafon, unfortunately. That's kind of annoying. But we can't, yeah. We can't do anything about Tessafon. Let's have a look over at these guys. Yeah, this army is really starting to suffer now. We're going to let them stand for one more turn. We're gonna let the siege stand for one more turn, rather. Because then Dimity will fall very, very easily. I'll just auto-resolve it. It'll be done. And then we'll have complete control of that province. As you can see, public order is dropping in this area again because of our food shortage. We knew that would happen. I will go ahead and build wheat mills in Cidamus to help you kind of push that problem back. But as soon as we take Dimity, we should have a pretty nice income source. Also, as income continues to improve in the areas, as income and public order continues to improve in the areas we just took control of, we will be in a better position to recover our armies and do some damage to the Sassanids here. So what I need to do is bring in as many armies as possible in the coming turns to fight this siege. So I think what I'm going to do is bring this army in from Dumatha. And that would suck because public order is going to suffer if I withdraw this army. I don't have a means of fixing that, unfortunately. It's one of the disadvantages of this situation we find ourselves in at the moment. I'll go ahead and upgrade those units. So I might need to bring in... Yeah, see, this army can go ahead and take Ecbatana, which is the capital of the Atropatene. And they have a full stack in there, so that could be an interesting fight. Huh. I have some interesting choices ahead of me. I'm going to go ahead and cut this episode here, but thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I upload new episodes in Eternal Empire every day at noon Eastern Daylight Time, which is GMT-4 for those of you not in the States, and comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next episode.